G'day guys, Steve Galvin from Tech Angler. Just thought I'd make a short video just to outline the importance of transducer placement. As you would have seen in the previous clip, a transducer set up correctly, you should be able to read the bottom when travelling at full speed. Now, I often see in my clients' boats that the transducer isn't correctly installed, and that's the reason why they're not getting good readings or not being able to read the bottom and track the bottom when travelling at speed. So in this video, we're going to quickly outline just a few of the key points to look for when determining where to place your transducer. Hopefully it helps you out. Okay, so I'm at the back of my boat. As you can see, I am running one transducer. I'm running a 3-in-1 active imaging transducer. This does my sonar, it does 83 kilohertz, it does 200 kilohertz, it does medium high chirp, it does the down scan, it does my side scan at 800 kilohertz and 455 kilohertz. You'll note that I've got a large transducer bracket. So this is a transducer bracket twice the size that comes standard on most Tinnies. But when I purchased this boat 3 years ago, I was running 2 transducers. So I ran a 3D structure scan transducer and a dedicated sonar transducer being a HST WSBL. But for the last 12 months or so, I've been running a 3-in-1 active imaging transducer and I absolutely love it. Okay, so some things to look out for when working out the best place to mount your transducer. So it's recommended that a transducer be mounted on the starboard side, so the right hand side. The reason for this is to get the best performance from your transducer needs to be in clear water, which is generally 12 to 15 inches from the prop. The reason it's not recommended to mount your transducer on the port side, the left hand side, is because on most boats your prop rotates 95 degrees. So if I've had my transducer mounted on my port side, the left hand side of my boat, the prop's going to be rotating 95 degrees and it's going to throw turbulent white water over my transducer. So first of all, look at mounting your transducer on the starboard side. Okay, the second thing we look for when mounting a transducer is we need to avoid strakes and skegs on the boats. So as you can see on the bottom of my hull, I've got strakes running about 120 mil apart. You can see that's why I mounted my transducer in between 2 strakes. If I mounted my transducer slightly to the right, in front of that strake, when I'm travelling at speed, air bubbles will come along that strake, which will cause my transducer interference and cause my transducer cutouts. The third and probably the most important thing to look for when mounting your transducer is transducer height. So your transducer, when going at planing speed, needs to just be just under the water. If you have your transducer too high, it will be actually out of the water when on the plane. If you have it too low, what happens, an air bubble will form under the bottom of the hull, between the transducer and the bottom of the hull, which will cause your transducer to stop reading and will cause you not being able to read bottom at speed. As you can see, the bottom of my transducer is approximately 5 mil below the bottom of the hull. This allows it just to skim just under the water surface when I'm travelling at speed. For those of you that run 2 transducers, either a 3D structure scan or an LS2 and a dedicated sonar transducer such as a HST WSBL, it's important to run the transducers side by side. I see on a lot of boats they'll have the 3D structure scan or the LS2 transducer on one side and then the dedicated sonar on the other side. Yes, it does work, but it doesn't work as well as it's designed to. To get the best performance of transducer, it is recommended that you run them side by side. This is the reason why I got the larger transducer bracket put on my boat. So then I could place both transducers in between the strakes running along the bottom of my boat. The reason for that is, if I had a sonar transducer mounted on the port side of my boat, my side scan beam needs to get through the motor leg, the thicker part of the sonar beam. So on my sounder, I'm not going to get as clear readings going to the left as I would if they were side by side on the starboard side. If we had a transducer, a sonar transducer mounted here on the outside of the structure scan transducer, our side scan beam is not obstructed. It has to shoot through only the narrow part of the sonar beam, giving us the best image both left and right. Anyway, I hope that's helped you guys. I'll see you on the water. Cheers.